Greetings! Welcome back to Couch Critic. Dennis P. still sitting here on my couch and musing Chelsea Football Club. Before we get into the recap of Chelsea versus Newcastle, I'm going to implore you to please hit the like and subscribe button. And also, if you're real nasty and real crazy, hit the bell notification button to keep up with all the latest and the newest. Okay, let's get right into it. The recap: Chelsea versus Newcastle at St. James Park, a game that finished 2-1 to Chelsea. And man, am I wrong in saying that Newcastle looked nothing close to a top 20 side in the UK yesterday? I'm saying closer to a pub team than an actual professional EPL team. I mean, it does take a great deal of organization, composure, and tactical awareness to maintain your shape for that long. They're playing like two banks of five. But let's be honest here, they came with absolutely no game plan as to how they were going to win the match. The game plan was how to keep Chelsea from winning the match. With it being the third game of the season, you're at home, you're not facing a relegation battle. It's just disgraceful. I mean, I guess in some sense, Rafa was vindicated close to the end of the game. As soon as they started to go forward and those gaps started to appear in the back, Chelsea had absolutely no problem with exploiting the space. And they basically cut through them like a hot knife through butter. So I guess in some sense you could say Rafa was actually cognizant of the fact that Chelsea can hurt you if you provide them with space and time on the ball. I don't want to speak too much about the refereeing decisions in this game because they were poor and it's not something that I really want to focus on, but let's be honest here. At least two red card offenses that were not given. There was a red card offense against Azpilicueta about the 60th minute with Kieran Clark charging in to try and win the ball, got nowhere near it and went studs up into his ankle, wasn't even yellow carded. Another instance that led to the Joselu goal where Giroud was elbowed to the face, which is bookable offense without question, never got a card. And I don't necessarily blame Newcastle for their aggressive nature for the entire match. That comes down to the ref. If the ref allows you to get away with 4 and 5 late tackles on Hazard in the first half, that basically sets the tone. If they're not being cautioned, what's the impetus for them to stop? And speaking of Eden Hazard, what a match by him. Games like this when you need somebody to investigate tight spaces, who's better than Eden Hazard? My gosh, was he able to probe that defense time and time again. I mean, if he ever develops the killer instinct to shoot on goal more often, we're in for a real treat. I mean, not that his layoffs aren't absolutely devastating. I mean, he set up Pedro for an unbelievable chance at the end of the first half. It's just that you would like to see somebody dribble through 3 or 4 guys and then take on the goaltender as well. And he doesn't really do that as much as I want to see him do it. Maybe this year we might see a change to that. At times yesterday, you can see that Chelsea needed to move the ball quicker. For me, moving the ball quicker isn't just like passing it with pace. It's also moving with pace. If you are afforded the space to run into, you need to attack it with pace and purpose. It challenges the defense's reaction time and could pull them out of their shape as well. If you're nonchalantly moving into that space, it gives them time to reset and basically keep their shape. And that was a problem a lot of the time with David Luiz on the ball. He was very nonchalant moving forward, and as a result, they were able to keep their shape even when we felt that we could probe them. There was a good battle at the top of Newcastle's 18 all game long between Fernandes and Morata. I thought Fernandes was their man of the match. He marshaled him all game long and also got under his skin more than a few times by pushing him and going through him with tackles and whatnot. Morata was only ever really afforded space when he went out wide. And in these instances, I'd love to see him use the cutback a little bit more. Obviously, he's still our most advanced player, so flashing the ball across the 6 doesn't really lead to a lot of goal-scoring opportunities, provided cutback passes and either Hazard or Pedro or somebody like that would have been well in. I thought Chelsea defended fantastically for about 98% of the match. In the moments where they lost possession, they were really quick in getting it back and recycling it again. Our central defenders did have a couple moments of lapses, and if you watched my first video, you'd see that I said that both Luis and Rudiger are kind of slow to react, and that was on display today. I think when Sarri said in his presser that he wants his defenders to be watching the ball, David Luiz and Rudiger took it a little bit too literally. I mean, both defenders were found ball watching with gilt-edged scoring chances right in front of them. Rudiger in the first half with a Rondon open header. Of course, David Luiz ball watching with the Joselu equalizer. I mean, outside of that, they didn't really give us much to defend. They just were so compact and never got anyone forward. I don't remember one instance where they threatened our goal. Maybe Jacob Murphy in the first half. But other than that, there was no threat going forward whatsoever. And you got to question that being the home team and in the third game of the season. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up there with the two main talking points being Newcastle's pub team-like tactics versus Chelsea's perseverance, patience, and composure. I think Chelsea's ability to find a breakthrough even though one didn't seem possible, and then to go on and find a winner late in the game is something they can use to build on for the rest of the season and, use that as momentum to take them into the next game, which is Bournemouth. Please leave a like and also subscribe. I'll be releasing the Bournemouth preview within the next couple days, so please also look out for that. And in the meantime, thank you for your time, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.